Good evening and many thanks for joining us. You're watching QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studios on Caraba Avenue. Here are the main news headlines. In a move that has taken many by surprise, President Barrow today announced a cabinet reshuffle, redeploying some ministers to other ministries and also appointing or redeploying heads of various government institutions. At a pinning-on ceremony at the State House on Friday, President Adama Barrow decorated general officers of the Gambia Armed Forces High Command to various ranks. The much-anticipated Private Members' Rent Amendment Bill 2023 is nearing enactment as it is set for a third reading and subsequent assenting by the President before it becomes a law. In international news, Ousmane Sonko, Senegal's main opposition leader, has been freed from prison ahead of this month's presidential election. And in sports news, the Gambia team appears to be on the way out of the women's indoor volleyball at the African Games after losing to Ghana and Egypt in 3 sets each on Wednesday and Thursday. Well, for more on this and other stories coming up, I am Ansmane Sonyansi. Now, in a move that has taken many by surprise, President Barrow today announced a cabinet reshuffle. Some ministers have been redeployed to other ministries or not retained. In the same press release announcing the changes, heads of various government institutions have also been appointed or redeployed.
The Gambia's President Adama Barrow replaced Basic and Secondary Education Minister Kulidana Cole, who is now redeployed to the Foreign Service, with Ms. Hadija Tosi, and Information Minister Lamin Queen Jame with Dr. Ismaila Sise, a political science lecturer at the University of the Gambia. The Energy and Petroleum Minister Abdi Job is now reassigned to the Ministry of Tourism and Culture, while Nani Juara, Managing Director of NAWEC, is now appointed Minister of Energy and Petroleum. Gallo Seidi assumes the role of Managing Director of NAWEC. Tourism and Culture Minister Hamad Nkeba is now reassigned to the Ministry of Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs, replacing Usman Sow, who is back as the Director General of the State Intelligence Service. Lamin Jadama, current SIS boss, is redeployed to the Foreign Service. Interior Minister Siaka Sonko is replaced by Abdoulaye Sanyang, the current Inspector General of Police. CDM Toure, Director General of the Gambia Immigration Department, now assumes the role of Inspector General of Police. Ba Ibrahim Mboup is the new Immigration Director General. Mamba Njai, Special Advisor, is redeployed to the Foreign Service, and Mr. Mamadou Sabali is appointed Special Advisor, Office of the President. Yusufa Job, the Director General of Public Utility Regulatory Authority PURA, has been replaced by Dr. Njogu Elba. These changes take effect from today, 15th March 2024. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
And we still stay with news from the presidency, as at a pinning-on ceremony at the State House on Friday, President Barrow decorated general officers of the Gambia Armed Forces High Command with the ranks of Brigadier General, Major General and Lieutenant General. The officers were recently promoted to the portfolios of Chief of Defense Staff, Deputy CDS and Commander of the Gambia National Army. Mohamed Lamin Choi tells us more.
Members of the Gambia Armed Forces High Command, the Vice President, the Ministers of Defense, Interior and Justice, and the National Security Advisor converged at the State House in Banjul for a pinning-on ceremony. Presiding over this significant occasion is President Adama Barrow, who is also the Commander-in-Chief of the Gambia Armed Forces. 3 top-ranking military officers to be decorated are the Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Mahmoud Ocham, the Deputy CDS, Major General Usman Gomez, and the Commander of the National Army, Brigadier General Seth Njai. One by one, the general officers stepped forward to receive their insignia from the President, marking a symbol of their elevated status and increased responsibilities. They all exude a sense of pride as their spouses and the Commander-in-Chief affix the stars to their epaulets, signifying the promotion to the highest ranks of military leadership in the Gambia Armed Forces. This is followed by the taking of 6 oaths for their newly acquired ranks. This crucial milestone achievement in their military career comes after they were appointed to their respective positions in September last year. Lieutenant General Mamad Ocham is the Chief of Defense Staff of the Gambia Armed Forces.
We wish to capacitate the armed forces in addressing the security challenges of today and be at par with contemporary domestic and regional security realities. This endeavor naturally builds the confidence and posture of the force, thereby creating the conducive environment to cooperate with all players and stakeholders in the defense and security space for national peace and growth.
The Minister of Defense, Serigne Modou Njie, praises the newly promoted general officers for their dedicated service in the military and remind them of the task that comes with their new responsibilities.
The weight of your new roles are critical to our nation. Promotions, especially to general ranks, is demanding because the nation expects you to lead from a more holistic and a strategic perspective. Recognizing the challenges ahead, I want to reiterate that the government, under His Excellency's leadership, remains committed to supporting the Gambia Armed Forces, ensuring a peaceful, safe, and prosperous Gambia.
President Adama Barrow, the Commander-in-Chief of the Gambia Armed Forces, reviews his government support to the Army as part of the overall security sector reform agenda of his government. The head of state congratulates the general officers for the new roles in leading the reform and transformation of the Gambia Armed Forces.
And I can assure you that the people are grateful for the service you provide. We look up to you as a disciplined force and a public institution to defend our beloved country against any external aggression or internal strife. Although we pray that we live in peace and security, soldiers must be ready to serve under adverse conditions or in unexpected circumstances when need be.
Preceding this ceremony, President Adama Barrow had a closed-door meeting with the Gambia Armed Forces High Command, which was attended by the Vice President, Ministers of Defense, Justice and Interior, and other senior government officials. The pinning on ceremony not only marks as the significant milestone in the careers of the newly appointed military personnel, but also serve as a reminder of the importance of service, duty and sacrifice. Mahmoud Lamin, QTV News.
Well, congratulations to the decorated officers. Now, the much anticipated Private Members' Rent Amendment Bill 2023 is nearing enactment as it is set for a third reading and a subsequent assenting by the President before it becomes a law after it passed the consideration stage on Thursday. The bill offers protection to tenants. Ali Sise was in Parliament and he now reports.
The Rent Amendment Bill proposed by Madi M.K. Sise, the NAM for Serekunda West constituency, which seeks to make some amendments to the Rent Act 2014, offers tenants much-needed protection against short notice eviction and frequent rent increments. Once enacted, the bill will extend the minimum eviction notice period from the current unspecified time frame to a full 90 days. This will address the practice of landlords instructing tenants to vacate premises on short notice. Additionally, the bill addresses concerns regarding rent increases, proposing an increment of not more than 5% every 3 years. This will prevent landlords from making rent increments as and when they want. Furthermore, under the Rent Act 2014, a tenant occupying a premises below $3,000 are obliged to pay rent monthly, and above this, a tenant could be taxed to make 6 months or more upfront payment. The bill seeks to raise this to $7,000, enabling those renting below this threshold to pay monthly. For premises exceeding this value, tenants may still face bulk payment requirements. Appearing on QTV State of Affairs program, Honorable Madi Sise of Serekunda West constituency, the initiator of the bill, believes the success of the bill goes beyond just enactment.
I am going to put some extra effort in this.
Okay.
So when this act, when the bill becomes an act, I will not just fold my hands.
Okay.
I will take an extra step to really make a proper sensitization of the Rent Act. You know, once the amendment comes into act, now we will have a Rent Act.
Okay.
Now, My second phase is to really give it publicity so that the people know, both tenants and the landlords will know their rights.
After the first reading, the bill was referred for further scrutiny to the National Assembly's Committee on Lands, Regional Government, IEC and Ombudsman, chaired by Honorable Suleiman Jame of Bundakunda constituency. Honorable Jame welcomed the bill and commended his colleague for the initiative.
So the other thing also was like the landlord. They should also try to, keep their premises or their properties, in a very good shape, wherein the tenant can also be able to live happily.
The rent bill was introduced in 2023. In a different agenda of the day, Suleiman Saho of Central Badebe constituency issued a statement on the matter of the day on road accidents in the country. He expressed concerns on the road accidents, particularly on the South Bank, and called on Parliament to take an immediate firm action to help curb the persistent deadly road accidents which had and continues to claim the lives of many.
We must act now, as we are the hope of the nation, either to pass a strong resolution or revisit the Act or formulate new policies on road accidents.
Members welcomed the statement as timely and advocated more measures such as installing traffic lights, cameras, and proper testing of drivers and vehicles. They also encouraged traffic police to be more vigilant and enforce the traffic laws, but much emphasis was on the need for attitudinal change by drivers. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
And a report there by Aliou Cisse will lead us to the commercial break, but we will be right back.
Summit on the 4th and 5th May 2024, the second largest gathering of world leaders, kings, presidents, rulers, prime ministers, along with delegates from 57 member countries of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, will gather in our beloved nation for this historic event. The theme of the summit is enhancing unity and solidarity through dialogue for sustainable development. It's a platform to foster cooperation, promote peace and drive sustainable development across the Ummah and the world at large. We call on all Gambians to unite and support the government as it strives to host a memorable and successful event. Let's showcase our hospitality, culture and the beauty of the Gambia to the world. Join us in making history. Let's stand together, united as one, to ensure the 15th OIC Summit in the Gambia is an event to remember. Together, we can make a difference.
The art of juggling is a true spectacle of agility, coordination, and speed. A symbol of progression, precision, and mastery. .5G speed is like having the juggler in your pocket. With lightning-fast download and upload speeds, you'll easily be able to juggle even the busiest workdays. Whether you're a busy entrepreneur, a creative, or just someone who wants to stay connected. Juggle your tasks with ease with QCell 5G speed. The future is here. It's fast, reliable, and efficient. First brought to you by QCell. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back from the commercial break. Be reminded you're watching QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studios on Caraba Avenue with me and Smana Isonyasi. Now, the management and staff of APS, the International Money Transfer Company, found a special way to say Ramadan Mubarak to its valued customers on Wednesday when it kicked off its annual iftar distribution to fasting Muslims at Bruce Bay Turntable. Alaji Lamin Funding Dabo reports.
This is the 5th APS Ndogu, the company's annual iftar distribution by staff as part of their corporate social responsibility and a way to give back to the community. APS officials say they will be giving away 2,000 parcels of food, water and dates in 10 different locations, which include Tanje, Tipa Garage, Westfield, Kanifing General Hospital, Banjul Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, Brekama, Costa Road, and Serekunda Brikama Garage. Kisima Tunkara, APS Business and Development Officer, who doubles as the officer in charge of the APS Wallet, the mobile phone app, which facilitates a wide range of mobile financial transactions, spoke on behalf of the management and thanked Allah for making it possible for them to witness another iftar distribution, a manifestation of the acceptance of all the prayers people have offered for them during last year's Ramadan.
We are very excited to be here at Brusubi Roundabout. On behalf of the management and all the staff, it's an excitement to be here to give again another round of APS Wallet Ndogu. It's all about giving iftar Ndogu to the people that are passing by here at the turntable. It's a contribution that we are giving to the general public basically. And it's another year, as you said. We are so happy to be here and to give back to the public.
Siaka Aban spoke on behalf of the beneficiaries.
Yeah, first of all, I would say Assalamu alaikum to Gambian. I wish every Gambian or every Muslim a happy Ramadan Mubarak. What APS is doing is very good. It's a good gesture to feed somebody who has been fasting for the whole hours. It's a good blessing. I want everybody also to at least other occupations also to help out, reach out to people and then give them something to feed themselves. It's a good initiative. Yeah. I want to say let Allah bless them with anything that they are doing, increase them in their work, whatever they want. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant it for them, inshallah.
APS is a group of companies with its registered money transfer offices across all parts of the Gambia and available in 19 countries including Senegal, the United Kingdom, USA, across Europe. Here is Kisima Tunkara again,
saying a very big thank you to all our customers that are using APS Wallet. It's because of you people that we are able to do this every year. It's because of your support that we are able to be here and almost every location here in the Gambia. So we say a very big thank you to all of you. Without you, we will not be able to do this. And then we encourage you to continue to be with us, continue using our services, and also introduce more people to come in and then use our services. Together, we can do it. Together, we can make Gambia better. Together, we can help each other.
APS Service is a Gambian-owned company renowned for fast, reliable, safe, and convenient range of services. Their services include sending money, food shopping called Nduga, cash power or mobile credit to family and loved ones in the Gambia. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lamin Alaifandindao.
And time now for some international news. Now, Ousmane Sonko, Senegal's main opposition leader, has been freed from prison ahead of this month's presidential election. As Loliem Camara reports, this triggered jubilation across the streets of the capital, Dakar.
Sonko's release has sparked celebrations from outside the prison and across the streets of the capital. Thousands of supporters were on the streets of Dakar, chanting Sonko's name outside his house. As reported by Senegalese state broadcaster RTS, Sonko was released along with Key Ali Bassirou Diomaye Faye late on Thursday. The duo's release came after a political and constitutional crisis initiated by President Macky Sall's decision to postpone the February 25th presidential vote. However, their release was expected following last week's passage of an amnesty law for acts committed in connection with political demonstrations since 2021. Prior to its submission to a parliamentary vote, the draft amnesty law was endorsed during the national dialogue of 26 to 27 February, which was convened following the presidential unilateral suspension of the presidential election process on 3 February 2024. The draft law, adopted by the Council of Ministers on 28 February 2024, justified by a spirit of national reconciliation and the preservation of the rule of law and the republic, covers all facts that may be classified as a criminal or correctional offense relating to protests or politically motivated incidents that took place between 1st February 2021 and 25th February 2024 in Senegal or abroad. Amnesty International, the leading international human rights NGO, estimates that At least 60 people have been fatally shot by security forces during the demonstrations. Usman Sonko came a distant third in the 2019 presidential election, but has built up a significant following since, and was banned from running as a candidate in this year's poll due to his conviction. Senegal has been renowned for peace, stability, and democracy since its independence in 1960, and is one of the few nations in West Africa never to have suffered a military coup. 19 candidates are contesting, and more than 17 million Senegalese voters will choose Macky Sall's replacement as president come the 24th of March 2024. In the early days of the 2 weeks available for campaigning, there had been reports of violence between rival sets of political supporters. However, the violence appears to have quietened over the last few days. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
And now on to some sports news. Now, the Gambia team appears to be on the way out of the women's indoor volleyball at the African Games after losing to Ghana and Egypt in 3 sets each on Wednesday and Thursday. Murugajaga has more.
Ghana women's volleyball team players were too strong for the Gambia, defeating them 3 straight sets to 0 in the ongoing African Games in Accra, Ghana. The Gambia girls got up to a good start before the host found their strength and rhythm and pushed on for the victory. Ghana secured a commanding 25-15 win in the first set. The Gambian girls grew into the game in the second set, but succumbed to a 25-20 defeat. They complete a clean sweep over the Gambia with a narrow 25-23 win in the third set. Ghana's wins were boosted by locals who packed the Boteman Sports Complex multipurpose court to support their team. This was how the Gambia coach Lamin Elef Baji reacted to the defeat.
Playing against the team and playing against the audience, it was very tough. For the experience-wise, the players, their lack of experience, we don't have such facilities whereby sound, the compression of sound easily confuse players. This is another thing that's really disturbed us very well, as you can see.
Egypt defeated the Gambia women's team in 3 straight sets in their second match, scoring 25-13 in the first set, 25-11 in the second, and 25-9 in the third set. Having lost 2 games in a row, the Gambia female indoor volleyball team will face Tunisia in their final encounter. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News.
And I'm afraid that's all about it for this bulletin. But before we take a leave of you, here's a recap for main headlines. In a move that has taken many by surprise, President Barrow today announced a cabinet reshuffle, redeploying some ministers to other ministries and also appointed or redeployed heads of various government institutions. At a pinning on ceremony at the State House on Friday, President Adama Barrow decorated general officers of the Gambia Armed Forces High Command with the ranks of Brigadier General, Major General and Lieutenant General. The much anticipated Private Members' Rent Amendment Bill 2023 is nearing enactment as it is set for a third reading and a subsequent assenting by the President before it becomes a law after it passed the consideration stage on Thursday. In international news, Usman Sonko, Senegal's main opposition leader, has been freed from prison ahead of this month's presidential election. And in sports news, the Gambia team appears to be on the way out of the women's indoor volleyball at the African Games after losing to Ghana and Egypt in 3 sets each on Wednesday and Thursday. That's it for this bulletin. Do join us tomorrow same time for more news. Until then, thanks for watching.